We have been talking about the roles of a DPO in an organization. Today we are going to see what should a small organization do when it comes to data privacy and having a DPO for their jobs. Welcome to my YouTube channel where we have been talking about data privacy on a daily basis. So let's first define a small business. In our context, a small business could be a small manufacturing company, it could be a small consulting company. Their item might be of a higher value, and the more important thing from data privacy point of view is that they are handling personal information, especially when you talk of finance consultants, you talk of HR consultants, recruiters. HR recruiters get a lot of resumes and then they have to think which customers to pitch in those. So they all deal with a lot of personal information, and therefore data privacy becomes very, very important for them. They collect and process personal information within their organization with respect to employees, with respect to their vendors, contractors, customers, subcontractors also, and a lot of business associates. So even if it's not directly a consulting company, but like say a small IT company, 20-25 people, they have outsourced agencies that help them. They do have marketing agencies that help them, and they of course have those 20-25 employees that they have within their organization. And since there's a personal information in connection with all of the people, especially your employees, so data privacy does touch your organization as well. So there has to be someone to supervise or ensure that privacy compliances are taken care of. Why is it important even for a small business? Every critical thing is most important for a small business because loss of a reputation for a small business is always dangerous. A small organization can always actually use a compliance to market itself that though we are small, but we're still compliant with the best possible regulations. So it is important for them as well to take care of privacy regulation. They also need to protect their end user data. They are accountable to their data subjects or their users or their employees. They cannot afford to spoil their own reputation and risk the opportunities for their data users or their subjects to with the breach of their personal information. They need to follow compliances, they need to improve data handling and business practices, and follow all the possible data privacy rules. I still believe following data privacy rules or following any kind of compliance, of course it serves one purpose of being compliant and therefore lesser litigations or lesser fines and penalties, but on the other side they also help you improve your own business practices, right? So that's where even a small organization should treat privacy as an important function. So what are the key responsibilities of a DPO that we talked of in the last few videos as well? They should help their organization ensure they meet compliances. They oversee the impact assessments. They monitor regular data processing activities. They manage and employ their management and employee readiness. This is important. The management as well as the employees should always be prepared in handling personal information in a way that they become compliant. Typically, I would say that DPO should imbibe privacy policies into the organization's systems and individual processes, such that as if you are following the privacy by design principles, right? Everything that any employee does in an organization, any process that happens through a vendor or a contractor or a subcontractor is all designed in a way that privacy is taken care of it. Apart from that, the DPO should take care of any users' requests, data subjects' requests, and the most important job is that they should handle regulators related to privacy. So these are the broad responsibilities, but when it comes to actual practical working, there are different tasks that a DPO has to oversee. He may not be performing everything himself, right? For example, employees' education. This is with respect to data privacy. Continuous employee awareness, which is very, very important. Education means you take a class and leave, but awareness is to remind them that they need to handle the information in such a way that privacy is taken care of. Policy creation, the first step, monitoring all processes and ensuring that the policies are imbibed in the processes or the processes are automatically following the policy principles. Monitor all data processing activities, manage external contracts. This could be vendors, these could be customers. Your vendors need to handle the customers' information carefully, but you have to also be careful that the customer is handling your information properly, right? So these are the key tasks that a DPO has to perform within the organization, apart from handling the requests from the data subjects, managing the incident and breaches, because as per the compliance rules, if there is an incident, the DPO has to analyze whether it can be qualified as a breach, and once he qualifies the breach, he needs to quantify the impact of the breach to the subjects and notify it to the regulators, right? As per GDPR, this entire process should not take more than 72 hours of the breach, right? So DPO is critical there, and of course he has to handle the regulators. The challenge of small business is that it does not have anything in bulk, right? For example, even data handling or data processing, it happens. Even for a small organization, there is a lot of data processing, which includes personal data. But then if you are only 25 employees, the volume of processing of personal data within your employees is less. Even if you are 50, 100 kind of employees, the volume is less. I mean, if I say celebrating birthday or taking care of the birth date information of all the employees, a 100 employee organization does not even have a task a day for that, right? So the volume of work is less, though the work is critical. So they don't need a senior resource to sit inside the office to handle these things. There are not many regular changes in their basic working system. So their daily operations person, which this could be an add-on job to the operations person, or actually, as I mentioned earlier also, make policies and processes in a way that by default process takes care of the privacy policy, right? So you don't need a specialized person to sit there. You can request a DPO, an external person, to monitor these, conduct periodic checks, conduct periodic assessments of audits of your processes, so that you are prepared when an external audit happens. And you can request him to support in case of a breach, you can request him to support in case of a regulator inquiry, and many small businesses, and most of them, do the same for financial audits as well. Not everyone has a CFO sitting inside the organization. They have a small accountant, a junior accountant, cost-effective junior accountant sitting in the office, and the external auditors or the external chartered accountants managing their operations, getting reporting done out to the junior accountant. Similarly, you can take a DPO task as well. You can break down your cost, you can deploy external DPO for a one-time exercise of the take his help in creating policies for your organization and map them with your processes, so that there is a huge confidence that the policies are automatically taken care of if you follow the processes properly. There are no regular changes in processes, so you don't need a new policy or a new process on a daily basis or a weekly, monthly basis also in small organizations. You can ask him to schedule an employee training, repeat such trainings maybe every quarter or every 6 months, and also deploy his junior teams to help create awareness or monitor awareness in your organization, right? So a junior external privacy professional comes in and puts in posters, danglers, keeps sending privacy awareness emails to your employees. That can be done by an external source. A periodic 6 monthly or annual DPA is something, data protection impact assessment, is something that is required, should be done, and he should monitor that. Maybe he can deploy his team to conduct that for you, and him monitoring and reporting and getting back to your stakeholders and management with his findings. Incident based help in case there's a breach or if there's anything that is to be notified to the regulators. And again, in Indian context, we are expecting an annual regulatory filing on privacy subjects, so that can be done by an external DPO also. You don't need a person sitting inside within your organization. What are the key benefits that you will get out of outsourcing a DPO for your organization? You get an access to an expertise. You don't have a junior person sitting in your office and finding out how a policy should be or what a privacy notice is. You get access to an expertise. All small organizations face difficulty in retaining talent, especially if it's a specialized working area. So outsourcing helps them to get the expertise of specialized area without the needing to retain anyone. You can get flexibility in working and cost. You can actually put up a cost against each broken task that we discussed in the previous slide, and then accordingly you can manage your costs, activities. Don't need to get involved into day-to-day operations on privacy. It helps you reduce the risk of non-compliance. The DPO is available to on demand whenever you need, whenever you think something is critical, and it happens. Finance regulator comes in for some queries, and you quickly talk to your external chartered accountant and get a response prepared for it, right? So you can do that for DPOs as well. Being external, he won't be biased with any particular person or department within your organization, and the overall structuring of compliance under privacy would become more cost effective than hiring your own privacy team. Remember, even if you hire a experienced DPO for your organization, you would still need some junior people to do the day-to-day operations, until of course if the organization is big. But in a small organization you would still need. So when you in any case need junior people, let them report into a reliable, experienced, expert, outsourced DPO. That's what I have to talk about, recommending why you should outsource a DPO if depending on the size of your business. We are going to talk about large organizations and multinationals also in coming videos, so you can subscribe to my channel. Share your feedback in the comment section, and if you like my video, please press the like and bell icon. And also, if you think you need any help to devise the privacy documents and processes for your organization, you can contact me. My contact details are there in the description of this video, and I'll be happy to help you develop privacy policy and comply with data privacy laws in India. Thank you.